Yes, darling.
Anthony Tiny Busso here for Drumline.net, not .org.
.net.
We've already said
Throw
that.
a net over your dot.
Exactly. So, Kathy,
Yes.
I know that you were involved in the Oscar-winning movie
The now 3-time Oscar-winning
Whiplash,
movie. Yes.
3-time Oscar-winning.
Yes.
J.K. Simmons was amazing in this
Amazing.
movie, huh?
I know. It's such a blessing to have been involved in that whole thing. It was just, from the beginning.
So let me ask you, what was your involvement, and at what point did you start to be involved in this movie?
Pretty soon after they got the funding to do the full-length version, because it was a short film, 6-minute film early on, and they brought it to Sundance, and it got a distributor, and they got the money, and they went into it, and I got a call probably shortly thereafter saying that the entire film was dedicated to Buddy and inspired by Buddy, and they wanted everything that I could provide, from pictures to video to, just speaking about, how does the band work, coming to our rehearsals to see how a big band situation really, is put together. And yeah, we were there from beginning to end. So pretty exciting.
So definitely something that they really wanted to capture the authenticity and the realism of such a band as your dad's, and I can definitely see there was a lot of parallels in there.
Yeah.
Not just the rants and not just the tyrannical aspects, but just the dedication and the devotion and the drive and the strive to be the best, and the amount of practice that it takes,
Yes.
and the amount of wear and tear that it takes on your body. I know your dad's hands were ripped up, but near the end, I'm sure they were like gorilla hands.
No, it's exactly the opposite.
Oh, really?
Thing. Greg said when he met my dad, when he shook hands with him, his hands were like velvet.
Oh.
Smooth. Because, you don't have to work that hard. And that was his whole thing, is that if it's not, because if you look at how his kit was set up, you're not reaching, you're not going, you're not, everything's right here.
And I imagine at that point you've mastered your technique, and
You think so?
you use butter as your moisturizer.
Butter. I use butter. But yes, so the whole Whiplash thing it's amazing that they won 3 Oscars. It's this little tiny movie, and last night the producer said to me, we won as many Oscars as millions we put into it. That's how.
Wow.
$3 million to make that movie.
Wow.
That's
Just goes to show you, Hollywood, you do not need explosions.
No,
you
you
do not
don't.
need Tom Cruise and super lift shoes.
And you certainly don't
You just
need
need
the
a great story.
Avengers again.
You just need a great story. You need a heartfelt story. You need things
Things that people can relate to.
told from a truthful standpoint.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the director, that was his experience in music school. So it's coming from a place where he actually had that experience. And I've spoken to several people who said that they have had that experience, because people have said, well, it was very unrealistic how the teacher acted. Apparently it's not that unrealistic.
No.
So, I think it does happen.
It definitely happens, and it happens when guys care, and when people are passionate about
That's
what
it.
they do, and they want to make sure that their students are pushed and driven to perform at the best of their ability.
I think that's true, and I don't think that there's enough of that in the world today. I think,
No.
it's a 15-minute world, and, you get a million hits on YouTube, and you've got a career. So
Right.
it's a little strange. There's nothing, like working at a craft and really studying and really being out there and, bleeding for your art, because that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I have a great. Let's talk about me.
Oh,
I have
God,
I have
again?
a very funny anecdote at the end
I'll
of my
be the judge of
emails.
that.
At the end of my emails, it
Yes.
says the Billy Bob Thornton quote, which says, "I banged my head against the wall for 20 years in this business, and now we got guys that skateboard into a pile of cantaloupes, and they're famous."
Absolutely true. I mean, there's pictures of, videos of kittens jumping through hoops, and it's like, wow, that's it. This is the state of our world today.
Yeah.
And, growing up the way I did, and, knowing the people that I knew and know, and it really is about art and, creativity and
Integrity.
learning and integrity.
Yeah.
And it's not anything of what it's like now,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
But with movies like this, there's hope.
Yeah.
Go and study. Go and do something. It's not just about being able to sing, 4 notes.
Right.
So go out there and learn it.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's amazing. And it must have been really cool and an honor to even just be thought of in that realm, that you could add so much to what's the Reitman kid's name?
Jason.
Jason Reitman, Ivan Reitman's son, directed this movie, and just for him to be able to come to you and ask that. So you also said that you provided some pictures and
All the
some
pictures-
notes and stuff, or what?
All the pictures that were on if you have seen the movie, if you haven't, go and see it. all the pictures that are on his wall, posters. He's watching Buddy on a video on his phone. So everything that had to do with Buddy, and that's all he wanted to be, was excellent. And so he wanted to study, and he wanted to bleed, and he wanted to please, his professors, and that's it. That's really where it comes down to. It's like, go out there and study something and learn how to be the best at what you can do. My dad used to say that to me. If you're going to do something, try to be the best at it. Just go out there and try. It doesn't mean you're going to be the best at it, but at least you will give it a shot. And
Nice.
that's it.
So what kind of a reaction did you have? I know that there was a great point in the movie where J.K. Simmons' character, Fletcher, says to the kid after he plays for about 3 seconds, he goes, "Look at this, we got a Buddy Rich here." How cool was that?
Awesome. I mean, just the whole thing. I mean, the first time I went to see it by myself, I've seen it 3 times. So I went alone. The theater was pretty full, and sort of, if you know the beginning of the movie, it's all black, and then you just hear the snare drum going.
Yeah.
And I just started to cry.
Amazing.
Because it was just like, okay,
Sure.
this is it's heavy for me, because when it is your father, I kind of take a step out of it when I'm
And plus,
doing
those are some of your earliest memories as a little girl.
That's it too. It's just, it's very emotional for me, and I have to always kind of keep myself in the third person, because if I don't, I'll be crying day and night,
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was very great to see it. The first time I thought, wow, it was a little over the top for me at first. Then when I took my mom to see it the second time, and she sat there and cried the whole time.
Wow.
So, but loved it. Then I took Greg to see it the third time, and I was like, wow, okay, I got it the third time. It really was exactly how it should be the third time. So, yeah.
So safe to say you were happy with the movie and you were happy with the portrayal.
Absolutely. I think that, just the fact that they kept telling me throughout the production that, Buddy is the inspiration here. This whole movie is inspired by that man and what he did. So, yeah, how could I not be happy? I don't think that, they did him proud, I think.
That's great. Well, we are going to enjoy the Buddy Rich Big Band here tonight.
Let's not go that
And
far.
I am going to hit up Mr. Dave Weckel later on and get a couple of impromptu
bites.
sound bites from him. Hopefully he will not bitch slap me and make me carry his cymbals
Doesn't
to his
matter.
car.
He's not going to say anything bad. He's not going to say anything bad when I'm around. I'm telling you, they may call you Tiny. They call me Moose.
Moose Man on the drums.
There you go. Very nice.
Kathy, thank you so much for your
Always
time.
great to
And
see you.
I'm a friend of the Rich families,
Yes, he is,
and I
for
definitely
years.
appreciate your time this evening. Now, one last question: what do you think our dear friend Freddie Gruber would have thought about this movie, and how interesting do you think his opinions would have been?
You're putting me on the spot now because I don't want to say. I'm one of those people that if
No,
I
we
can't
want-
say anything
so-
nice.
no.
I don't want to say anything.
Okay, but okay, so
because there's a whole Freddie Gruber thing
let's
that I don't want
let's
to get into.
let's just say let's cut. Okay,
Yes.
let's cut and let's say this.
Okay.
So, what do you think a soundbite we could have got from Mr. Freddie Gruber regarding the movie Whiplash?
I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to quote that.
I
Man.
think he might have done something like this. Ah, fah.
He probably would have said, "Can you buy me breakfast?"
He would have said. He would have said like when he used to call me and say, "Hey, I gotta go to the optometrist, and he's in Beverly Hills. Can you give me a ride?"
And
True.
can you buy me breakfast?
True story.
I'm sure it is.
I said, Freddie, it's $6 for parking. He goes, do you got it? I'm like, yeah. He goes, good, because I don't.
The man had the first dollar he ever made up until the day he left us.
We
So
won't use
plus-
any of this, but it's just great
It's just
banter.
fun. Yes, it's good. Oh, I could go on and on, but please don't make me.
We will be cutting this, Michael. Thank you, or else you will die. Good night.